Welcome to the BHPR's Performance Management Handbook, BPMH, training for the BHPR Annual Performance Report. This lesson will begin on the Status Overview page of the HRSA EHBs. The Status Overview page is the default landing location when you click the Start button or Edit button on the Performance Reports list page. We will now introduce you to the features and functionalities available for the Performance Report. We will also cover, as part of this lesson, the functionality for completing the Setup Data section of your performance report. The Resources section will be expanded by default on the Status Overview page. The Resources section includes links to the following information: Related NOA, all related Notice of Awards; Last NOA, most recent Notice of Award; Performance Report. The EHBs will provide a read-only version of the performance report. Core Measures. This link will display a summary of your performance measures as you complete the report. Initially, this page will be blank, but we will cover this page later in the training. Program Manual. This link will provide a program manual that contains detailed guidance for completing your program performance report. Glossary. Glossary of terms for the performance report. FAQs. These are frequently asked questions about the performance report. The Submission Report Status section will display all forms required by the program and the status of each form. The status of each form will change as you complete the various forms of the report. Note, in order for a form to be complete, you must save and validate. If you notice your forms are not changing status, you may need to repeat the save and validate process. You will be able to access forms from this section using the Update button or by using the left side navigation menu. The Setup Data section must be completed before you can enter any data in the Performance Data section. The forms in this section define the business rules, parameters, and validation checks for the performance data you will complete next. Note, the Setup Data section of the left side navigation menu is dynamic, meaning the forms required in this section will be different for each program. The setup data may be modified after the initial entry if deemed necessary. However, changing this setup data would significantly impact other data already entered in your performance data forms. Note, Form LR1 serves as a driving table. While it is listed under performance data, you should consider it to be part of the setup forms. This means LR1 data must also be completed prior to completing any other forms. The Performance Data section lists all the forms that are required for completing your annual performance report or final performance report. The data entered in these forms will be validated against the business rules, parameters, and setup data you entered in the Setup Data section you just completed. Note, the Performance Data section on the left side menu is dynamic, meaning the forms required in this section are different for each program. We will now demonstrate the data entry process beginning on the Financial Support page of the Setup Data section. We will also demonstrate the data entry process for Form LR1 as part of the Setup Data process. Note, you can also access this form using the Update button next to the Financial Support entry listed in the table in the center of the page. Click the Financial Support menu option. The Financial Support page appears. All questions on this page are required. Note, the questions on this page are dynamic. Some reports will only see one question. Select the Select One drop-down menu to answer the question. Select Yes or No as appropriate for your institution. Select the Select One drop-down menu to answer the question. Select Yes or No as appropriate for your institution. Note, the questions on this page are dynamic. Some reports will only see one question. Click the Save and Validate button to complete this page. Note, the Save button will save your data but will not run the validation checks. Without the validation checks, a form will not be complete. You have successfully saved and validated your Financial Support page. Note, you will automatically be taken to the next form in your list. The Health Profession and Discipline page appears. This is the second form of the Setup Data section. Note, the left side menu now shows the Financial Support page as complete. The symbol for complete is a green check mark without the red line. Select the Health Professions drop-down menu. For this example, we will select the Behavioral Health, Public Health, Other option. Click the Load Disciplines List button. This action is required to load the list of disciplines for the health profession you selected. Select the Discipline menu. Select the checkbox for the discipline or disciplines associated with your program. Note, the EHBs will allow you to select more than one discipline from this list using the checkboxes. Select all checkboxes associated with your program disciplines. Click anywhere outside the list to close the drop-down menu. If you have chosen Other Specify as a discipline, you will be able to enter a specific discipline. Note, this field will only be activated when you choose the Other Specify discipline. Click the Add button to add your discipline or disciplines to the list of health professions below. The Health Profession and Discipline page appears with your list of health professions and disciplines listed. Note, this process may be repeated as many times as necessary. Note, the EHBs will not allow the same health profession and discipline combination to be added more than once. The EHBs will allow you to delete during the setup or when you are completing the performance data. Click the Options button. Select the Delete menu option to delete a health profession. Note, please be aware that deleting health professions will likely affect previously entered data if you return here after data entry has begun. A confirmation dialog box will appear. Please read all messages carefully. Click the OK button to confirm the deletion. The Health Professions and Discipline page appears updated. The health profession has been deleted. Click the Save and Validate button to complete this page. Note, changes to the setup data pages will affect the complete status of the performance data forms. The success message appears when you have saved and validated your data entry. The LR1 page appears automatically, and while this page is not listed as part of the setup data, it is a driving table. Data here will be used to validate subsequent data entry. Note, this page is dynamic, meaning some programs will have more or less questions. There are 7 total questions, but the program determines the number you are required to complete. Select the Enrollees field and enter data. Note, for these fields, NA is an acceptable response. Select the Program Completers field and enter data. Note, for these fields, NA is an acceptable response. Select the Save and Validate button on the system toolbar. This button works exactly like the blue Save and Validate button previously used. However, for a long form, this may be more convenient. Note, the Save button on the system toolbar works as previously noted as well. You have successfully saved and validated your LR1 page. Note, you will automatically be taken to the next form in your list. The LR2 form appears. This is the first page where you will enter performance data broken down into various categories. Note, the left side navigation menu shows your progress. As you complete, validate satisfactorily each form, the symbol will change. Thank you for taking the time to complete this training session. Suggested next steps. Completing performance data. This session covers the functionality for completing performance data. Performance data Excel upload. This session covers the functionality for completing performance data using the Excel upload process on forms where it is available. When you have finished the training, close the browser window or tab.